Hello there, brides-to-be. So this is a wedding planner overview. I just got this wedding planner in. I've gone through it. I think it's an awesome planner, so I wanted to show it to you all. I definitely wish I had this 6 months ago when I first started planning my wedding, but it has so many useful components to it that I'll definitely get plenty of use out of it now. So this is from Forever Bridal. They are a bridal show company out in North Carolina. I believe if you're a VIP bride at their shows, you get this in your package, and this is an awesome binder. So if you're a North Carolina bride, or an East Tennessee bride, or North Georgia bride, or South Carolina. Anyways, if you're in that area, you should definitely go to their shows and check it out. So here it says here, this is embossed in like a silver foil. It says something old, something new, something borrowed in blue. Our wedding, dream it, plan it, live it. They call it the Dream It, Plan It, Live It planner. And then here on the side, you can see it says Wedding Organizer. It's a regular 3-ring binder. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to make a dashboard out of it. They gave me some goodies, a little checklist, some sticky notes, pens, and a pencil. So I'm going to kind of do some double-sided tape over here. And I've got like a pen holder that's meant for a planner and whatnot. And stick these on here and just make like a little dashboard, and I'll probably add some page flags or whatnot. But that's not how it comes. So again, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and show this to you guys before I kind of jazzy it all up. So the first tab is the intro, and they've got some information about the planner and kind of how it came about and what's going to have in it. So you can see here's the table of contents. I think this part is so helpful right here. And I see so many brides who don't seem to know this information. So it says the average cost in the U.S. for a 150-person wedding is approximately $27,000. And then it kind of gives the recommended breakdown as to how much things cost. So I think this is a good number, just kind of informative as to what the average cost is. But really, this should be irregardless of this, because this, whatever your wedding budget is, that's between you and your family and your fiance. So, this doesn't matter, but whatever you do have, no matter what you have, these are good percentages to follow. And so, for instance, like your reception is going to be about half your total wedding cost. And with the reception, that means your venue, your food, and your drinks. And so that's something really good to keep in mind, because I'm in several wedding groups, and y'all, there are brides who, as they approach their wedding, they literally run out of money, and they have to cut food. And say, okay, we're only going to do, hors d'oeuvres for our guest, or they cut down on their bar and whatnot. And I think those are really important things to have, and no one wants to be in a situation where they're cutting, from what their plan was and running out of money. You should never, wedding expenses shouldn't be a surprise to you. I mean, in the beginning, they're going to be surprised, like, oh my God, things are so expensive. But you shouldn't, like 2 months before your wedding, be surprised if you don't have enough money to pay your caterer. So this is stuff that's good to keep in mind to help you figure out if you're looking at things that are appropriate. Like, I mean, I would have loved to have my wedding doused down in flowers, but the cost for what it would be to have my wedding doused down in flowers is well above 10% of my wedding budget. And so guess what? That's not happening. So they have notes pages here where you can kind of, make notes on your budget and whatnot. And then this is so great. So they have this checklist of kind of where you're at. So like right now I'm in this 3 to 6 month range, but I still have items over here that I haven't not checked off. But then I have like items here in the 1 month that I have checked off. So and then they have on here, I love that they've included like after your wedding. One thing that's, so like complete and mail your thank you notes to guests, attendants, and vendors. And with vendors, like it's nice to send them a thank you note, and some people send them like a thank you gift. What's really great to vendors is a positive review on social media. So like Wedding Wire, The Knot, even Yelp or their Facebook page. The positive review is really the best thank you can ever give one of your vendors. We've got here the bridal party information. I think this is more so for like your vendors and your planner than really for the bride and groom. Like obviously your bridesmaids and your dad and your mom, those are people that are close. Like I don't need to write down my dad's name to remember it, but that's good for my coordinator to know. And you know, on the wedding day, I'm just going to have all of my information here and just probably even the week of, and just hand this to her and be like, here you go. Here's all the contracts. Here's all the contact information. You're in charge of making sure everyone's there and doing what they're supposed to do. So this is, you know, good information for them to know who's who. And then it has a calendar on here. It's only one page. The calendar pages are double-sided, and then you can download from their website and print out more. So I'll print out, we're in May now and I'm getting married in October. So I will probably print these out. I might do through the end of the year just so I can kind of keep up with some of the after wedding stuff as well on the calendar. But it's like, for instance, so this will be May, this will be June, and then when I get this all set up and decorated, so on the 10th of June, we're going to go wedding ring shopping. So like I'll write the appointments we make on there. Okay. The next tab is venues. It says, all the info on where you'll say your I do's. And each tab is decorated on the side. A marriage ceremony typically ends with a kiss because in ancient Rome, a kiss was a legal bond that sealed contracts and marriage was seen as a contract. That's cute little wedding information. So here, this page is designed for when you're starting to look at venues, and it's got your wish list. And so these are like, these are 4 different venues you could be looking at and just, you know, keeping their basic information. So I basically did this when we were starting to plan. I actually, I looked up about 40 venues in my hometown because I'm crazy. And then I made info sheets on 14 of them. And on each info sheet, I did like their price, what their restrictions were. Like, was it an all-day rental or was it 6 hours or 8 hours? You know, were tables and chairs included? Was that extra? How much would it be for the tables and chairs? And then like a picture of it. And then I used that when when my fiance and when we had our first sit down with my dad to kind of go over venues and whatnot. I also, I try to do a wide range of things too. My dad is very graciously paying for our wedding, and he's been very generous, but typically my dad is what I want to refer to as someone who is fiscally conservative. So I wanted to show him kind of some of the outrageous price venues that could be out there, but at the same time also what you get towards the end of the lower end. And you know, some of the ones that were on the lower end, like even my dad was like, I don't think that's what we would want. Like obviously we're going to need to spend more on a venue. So it was kind of good to show him the broad range and whatnot. And then again, you go back to your budget to say, okay, well, what's appropriate for what we're looking at. And then they've got, you know, a note page where you can have notes when you do meetings and whatnot. And again, you can print out more of these notes. And then on this side, when you actually finalize things, you can have notes in your actual venues of where your ceremony and reception is going to be. And so like your contact, the email, how much, your deposit, when your payments are due, and any notes. So for example, you know, like ours has a catering kitchen and includes warmers and sink and countertop space and refrigerator and freezer, but like they don't have an ice maker. So like in fact, I just today sent our venue like a list of 10 questions. So like I'll probably go in and fill this out for them and like write all the notes of stuff we emailed about. And then so it's also for the rehearsal dinner, and then if you're having some other type of wedding event. So I think this is very useful. So see, like, so that's an example of something like, even though I've done the planning, like I think this is just a very useful thing to have, and I will definitely be utilizing this page. Okay, next is attire. I'm not going to read everything to you, but I'll hover over it for a few minutes so you can read. God,